What is this advance tax? That means whatever the tax amount you're supposed to pay to the government, you're supposed to pay it in advance. Whatever you're going to compute as a gross total income, on that you'll be computing the tax is supposed to pay for that particular year. So on 15th March, what is the percentage is supposed to pay? Is supposed to pay 25% of his total tax. 12,000 rupees plus 82,500, total comes to 94,500 rupees. Hello everyone, I'm Arun Kumar, lecturer in Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Dear students, welcome to this new session, session number 3 on unit number 5, that is tax deduction at source and advanced tax ruling. Yes, dear students, in the previous session we discussed about the TDS concept. So in this particular session we are going to discuss about what is this advance tax. So what is this advance tax? That means whatever the tax amount you're supposed to pay to the government, you're supposed to pay it in advance. Okay, that means, for example, if you are a salaried person, like if you're earning 40,000 rupees of salary per month or 50,000 rupees of salary per month. So if you're earning 50,000 rupees per month, so total how much you will be earning per year? So 50,000 per month into 12 months in a year. So altogether for 1 year you will be earning 6 lakh rupees. Okay. So on this 6 lakh rupees, you are going to compute the tax amount, and in advance you pay the tax amount on monthly basis or on quarterly basis. But now here we used to follow the quarterly basis advance payment system. So here if you look into the meaning of advance tax is the amount of income tax. Advance tax is the amount of income tax that is paid much in advance rather than a lump sum payment at the end of the year. That means we will not wait till the end of the year to make the payment. So in advance we estimate our income in the starting of the year itself and we make the advance payment. We will not wait till the end of the year. So also known as earned tax, advance tax is to be paid in installments as per the due dates decided by the income tax department. Yes, this advance tax is supposed to be paid to the income tax department as per the due dates given by the income tax authority. So they had given the due dates. As per the due dates, you are supposed to make the advance tax payment to the authority. If you fail to make the advance tax payment according to the due dates, they might impose any penalty or interest on the amount what you fail to pay. So due dates to make advance tax payment. Okay, the due dates to make the advance payment of tax. So these 4 are the due dates what we have. So first installment you're supposed to make by 15th June 2019. That is the example what I'm giving. So every month, every June 15th you're supposed to make. Okay, every year June 15th you're supposed to make the first payment, that is 15% of your total tax. So if you compute tax on 6 lakh rupees, so if you know the slab rate, easily you can compute. So first 2 lakh 50 nil, next 2 lakh 50, it is 12,500 because the rate is how much? 5% in the old tax system, and the new tax system it is different. So and remaining 1 lakh rupees, on that we will be computing 20%, you will get 20,000. So totally how much? 32,500. Okay, so how much you are supposed to pay tax now? You are supposed to pay 32,500 rupees of tax, that is approximate tax. On that you are supposed to compute 4% health and education cess also. So in this 32,500, you are supposed to make, in the first installment, you are supposed to make 15% of that amount. Next, the second installment is on 15th of every September. Okay, 15th of every September, you are supposed to make 30% of this 32,500. That means first installment 15%, second installment 30%. So by the end of the second installment, you should have to make the payment of around 45%. Okay, by the end of second installment, you should have to pay around 45% of your advance tax. Next, third installment, that is on 15th December. Every year, 15th December, again you are supposed to make the third installment of 30%. So first one 15, second one 30, third one 30. Totally you are supposed to make 75% of your total tax is supposed to be paid before the third installment. Next, the fourth installment, that is on March 15th of every year, 25% of your total tax payable. So by the end of the fourth installment, you are supposed to pay all 100% of whatever the tax you are supposed to pay. So totally we have 4 installments as per the income tax rules. The 4 installments are like 15th June every year and 15th September, 15th December and 15th March. So on these many dates you are supposed to make the payments. The rate is also defined. In first installment you are supposed to make 15%, second installment 30%, third installment 30%, fourth installment 25%. So by the end of the fourth installment, you will be paying whatever the amount, actual advance tax amount you are supposed to pay, that much of amount you will be paying by the end of the fourth installment. So this is about the concept of advance tax payment, what we have in our Indian income tax rule. So let us solve a few problems with respect to this concept so that we will understand how to compute the advance tax payment. So in the previous session, we solved 3 problems with respect to TDS. Now we are continuing that. So fourth one, we are continuing with advance tax payment. So the estimated taxable business income of Vijay Limited for the financial year is rupees 6 lakh and taxable long-term capital gain on 3/6/2020 is 3 lakh. Calculate the advance tax installment assuming estimated TDS to be 25,000. That means TDS, the already 25,000 tax is already deducted. But what is his income for the particular year? His income is 6 lakh plus 3 lakh rupees, right? 6 lakh plus 3 lakh rupees. So while you are computing the advance tax, you will be computing all the heads of income. That is income from salary and income from house property, income from capital gain, income from business and profession, income from other sources. You will be totaling all the 5 heads of incomes and you will getting the total. This total will be called as gross total income. From this you will be giving the deduction, and after whatever you will get after the deduction, this is your tax liability. So on that you will be computing. But here we will not be giving the deduction because the deductions will be considered at the end of the year. Whatever you are going to compute as a gross total income, on that you will be computing the tax is supposed to pay for that particular year. So here you have 2 incomes. One is business income and another one is capital gain income of rupees 6 lakh and 3 lakh. So total is how much? 9 lakh rupees, right? So on that 9 lakh rupees, now you are supposed to calculate the advance tax payment. So business income how much? Yes, 6 lakh rupees. Taxable long-term capital gain is how much? 3 lakh rupees. Totally how much? 6 lakh plus 3 lakh, 9 lakh rupees. So this 9 lakh rupees is his gross total income. So what is the tax payable on that 9 lakh? So first, on long-term capital gain, it is always to fixed, okay? Long-term capital gain 20%, short-term 15%, that is always fixed, it will not change. So on long-term capital gain 20% on how much? 3 lakh rupees, you will get 60,000 rupees of tax amount, and balance is 6 lakh. On this 6 lakh, it is 30%. Then how much is the tax? Yes, it is 1,80,000 because he is running a company. So he is supposed to pay 30% of tax. So it is 1,80,000. So 60,000 plus 1,80,000 is how much? 2,40,000. So on this 2,40,000, add health and education cess at 4%, that is 9,600. Totally you will get 2,49,600. So 2,49,600 is tax payable. This 2,49,600 is called tax payable. From this already made the payment of TDS, right, of rupees 25,000. 25,000 rupees of tax is already deducted. So deduct the 25,000. What is the remaining tax is supposed to pay? 2,24,600. So now this 2,24,600 is supposed to be paid by that person in 4 installments. So how to compute that installments? So advance tax payable, okay, advance tax payable. So what is the total amount is supposed to pay? That is 2,24,600 is the total amount is supposed to pay. This amount is supposed to be paid in 4 installments. Is supposed to pay this in 4 installments. Okay. So now first installment starts on 15th June. So on 15th June, what is the percentage you are supposed to pay? He is supposed to pay 15% of this total tax payable. 15% of this total tax payable. So 15% into 2,24,600. How much you'll get? You will get 33,690. 33,690. So as a first installment, he is supposed to pay 33,690 on the date of 15th June. Next, the second installment is on when? It is on 15th September. Okay. So what is the percentage? 30%. So compute 30% on this 2,24,600. So if you compute 30% on 2,24,600, you will get 67,380. Okay. 67,380 is supposed to pay. So add these two. So you're supposed to pay the total of these two by the end of the second installment. In the third installment, when the third installment starts? Third installment starts on 15th December. So before 15th December, he is supposed to make another 30% of his total tax payable. Again, compute 30% on this 2,24,600. Again, you will get the same amount, 67,380. Okay, 67,380. So by the end of the third installment, he is supposed to make, or he is supposed to pay 75% of his total tax payable. Next, fourth installment, it starts on 15th March. So on 15th March, what is the percentage he is supposed to pay? He is supposed to pay 25% of his total tax. So 2,24,600 into 25%, he is supposed to make the payment of 56,150. Okay. So by the end of the fourth installment, he is supposed to pay 100% of his total tax payable. That is 2,24,600. Now, if you compute this all four items, the four installment amounts, so total comes to rupees 2,24,600. Okay. This is how you are supposed to make the advance payment on each installments to the income tax authority. If he fails to pay on time, then the income tax authority, they might impose some penalty or fine or some interest on the amount he is supposed to pay. Next, moving further to the next problem, the following are the particulars of estimated income of Mr. Podar for the assessment year 21-22. So he had given four incomes, that is income from salary of rupees 6 lakh, income from house property of rupees 1,50,000, income from interest on government securities 1,10,000, winning from lottery rupees 40,000. So this much is the income what he is earning. Okay. So now on this we are supposed to compute the tax. So calculate the amount of advance tax payable by him in various installments. Tax of rupees 12,000 has been deducted at source out of the lottery income, and rupees 5,000 from salary income is deposited 10,000 rupees in public provident fund. That means they already deducted the tax of 12,000 and 5,000 and it deposited 10,000 rupees to PPF account, that is public provident fund. By using this information, you are supposed to compute the total income of that person and the total tax on the total income. Then the advance tax is supposed to pay for each installment. So now salary is how much? 6 lakh rupees. House property is how much? 1,50,000. Interest on government securities how much? 1,10,000. Winning from lottery 40,000. So this is the total income for a particular year of Mr. Podar. So total is 9 lakh rupees. Okay. And he paid 10,000 rupees towards PPF. It comes under section 80C as a deduction. So deduct the 10,000. Balance is 8,90,000. Okay. 8,90,000. So now compute the tax. This is called total income or taxable income. So now compute tax on 8,90,000. So first you compute 30% on 40,000. So which is that 40,000? That 40,000 is winning from lottery. So if you are winning from lottery, winning from gambling, winning from horse race, on that income the flat rate is 30%. So compute 30% on 40,000. You will get 12,000 rupees on winning from game. Next, tax on other income, that is the remaining amount is how much? In this 8,90,000, you taxed 40. So what is the balance? 8,90,000. So 8,90,000 you have, 8,50,000 you have. From 8,90,000, 40 is already taxed, remaining is 8,50,000. So compute tax on 8,50,000, you will get 82,500. So how to compute this? How I got 82,500? So 8,50,000 is the balance what I have. In this 8,50,000, apply the old slab rate or the new slab rate. So now let us consider the old slab rate itself. So up to 2,50,000 it is nil, right? Up to 2,50,000 it is nil. Next to 2,50,000 is taxable at the rate of 5%. Okay, it is taxable at the rate of 5%. You will get 12,500. Got it? What is the balance amount you have? 3,50,000. This 3,50,000 comes under the slab rate of 20%. Okay, if you compute 20% on this, you will get nearly 70,000. So total it, how much you will get? 82,500. So this is how we got 82,500 here. Okay, because 12,000, it is 30% on the income, that is the gambling income. And on this 8,50,000, you are supposed to apply the slab rate. And if you apply the slab rate, this is how you are supposed to compute. Say 2,50,000 plus 2,50,000, 5 lakh plus 3,50,000. Total is how much? 8,50,000. So on this 8,50,000, how much of tax is supposed to be payable? That is 82,500. So 12,000 rupees plus 82,500. Total comes to 94,500 rupees. So on this compute, the health and education cess at 4%. This 4% is supposed to be calculated on 94,500. Got it? This 4% is supposed to be calculated on 94,500. If you calculate, you will get 3,780. 3,780. So add 3,780 with 94,500. How much you will get? You will get 90,720. 90,720. So less TDS. They already made the payment of TDS of rupees 12,000 and of rupees 5,000. So 12 plus 5 is how much? 17,000. You already made the payment of 17,000. Deduct 17,000 from 90,720. You will get the balance of 73,720. So this 73,720 is tax payable. Okay, that 73,720, it is supposed to be payable in 4 installments. So now pay that amount, 73,720 into 4 installments. So first installment starts on advance tax. It starts on 15th June. You are supposed to make 15% of 73,720. How much is supposed to pay then? 11,058 is supposed to pay. So 15% of 73,720 is 11,058. Next, second installment, 15th September, 30% of 73,720. It comes to 22,116 rupees. Okay, so you're supposed to make 45% of payment by the time of second installment. So 45% is nothing but 11,058 plus 22,116. The total of these two is 75%. The total of these two amount is supposed to be paid by the person. Next, third installment, that is on 15th December, is supposed to make again 30%. That is, again you will get the same amount, 22,116. So by the end of the third installment, is supposed to make 75% of payment. That means 75% of 73,720. Next, on fourth installment, that is 15th March, is supposed to make 25% of 73,720. Is supposed to make payment of 18,430. So by the end of the fourth installment, he is supposed to pay 100% of his tax liability for that particular year. So if you total this all four, you will get 73,720. This is the total tax what is supposed to pay for that particular year. So this is how you are supposed to compute the advance tax. In case if he asks you to find out only the salary advance tax, then he will be giving you the salary. So total salary, apply the slab rate. Okay, I hope all of you know what is slab rate and how to compute slab rate. So in slab rate, we have new tax regime and the old tax regime. Almost all the time we follow the old tax regime because we have more advantage in old tax regime than the new tax regime, because we will get the deduction under section 87A, that is the rebate of rupees 12,500 in the old tax regime under section 87A. Okay, so up to 2,50,000 nil. Next 2,50,000 to 5 lakh it is 5%. 5 lakh to 10 lakh it is 20%. Above 10 lakh it is 30%. And whatever the amount you will get the tax amount, for that you are going to add the health and education cess at 4%. And whatever the amount you will get, that is the tax payable. So on that you will be computing 4 installments. That is how you are going to compute the advance tax payment by a particular assessee for a particular year. So with this, I'm going to wind up this session. I'll come up with few more new videos. Until then, thank you all. Have a nice day. Namaste.